So at some point, you're going to have somebody, if you have an online business, that says, do this or I'm going to do that. Could be a refund, could be a current client, past client, could be a contractor, whatever it might be. But somebody's going to say that if you don't pay them, or if you don't refund them, or if you don't XYZ, that they're going to take this public and whatever it might be. So I've had this done to me plenty of times. I've had clients do this. Clients have had this issue. And it's a really tough place as an online business owner. It's a really tough place as an entrepreneur. And I just want to talk about what to do and the way in which you actually go through this. Because it's almost inevitable that it happens. It's almost inevitable that it's going to happen. And when you tread this territory of running a business, and of course, as you happen to have a multiple seven-figure business, it's going to happen more and more. And everyone sees and has seen somebody get canceled. I've seen it from the inside. Clients of mine got canceled, misunderstood, sued. I've been sued. All these types of things that come back to reputation. And so I want to start with the most important part, which is to understand your underlying fear and or nervous system when something like this is going to happen. So almost all of us have a fear of being outed, having a fear of being outed from the group, to being seen not correctly, being seen not in the correct light, or the light in which you see yourself, or that you believe is the way in which you're seen. And sometimes in business, you're going to have to make decisions where there's no good decision. Right? Both decisions, or the three decisions that you have, none of them are good. So, I think back to a particular time in business when I was going through a really, really, really tough time on cash flow, like really, really, really tough time. And I simply could not keep the commitments that I said that I could. And I said to this person that I'm thinking about, hey, I just can't do this right now. And in their mind, in their context, in their version of reality, I obviously, screwed them over. And I get that. I do. And their reaction was simply, well, if you don't pay me, then I'm going to go and tell everybody about this. And you have one of two options if you're in that situation. And obviously, this is one situation. There's many situations, and we'll go through some of them. And I told this person, I said, my job is not to control the opinion of other people. My job is to be able to do the best I possibly can. And I'm sorry, but the best I possibly can is I don't have the money for this at the current moment. There's literally nothing I can do outside of keep doing what I'm doing, spend time doing what I'm doing, and know that it's not the fact that I don't want to pay you. It's the fact I can. And so that's really in times when, and in business, you can get up in all sorts of interesting situations, right? Because of cash flow, because things didn't work out, or you overcommitted, whatever it might be. And vast majority of situations are going to work themselves out. And in some situations, you're going to have somebody that's pissed off, that's partially because of you, partially perhaps because of their own life events or what they're going through in their situation, as well as the way that they see you. And you simply, my take on it is go for it, right? Tell people if you need to tell people. If that makes you feel better, tell people. I had a similar situation in 2022, 2023. I was investing in acquiring businesses, and without going deep into that story, it didn't work out the way that I thought. And I lost a lot of money, and I lost a lot of investors' money during that time. And while it wasn't this widespread thing and there wasn't thousands or even hundreds or even dozens of people, there were a few people that I went to and I said, hey, I have to restructure the way that this is going to happen, and I would love to figure out how to figure this out with you. And I can't honor what I said because of these things that are going on, and it's not because I don't want to, I just simply can't. And so, and I said to them, I was like, you can either work with me or you have to sue me. And the vast majority, all besides one or two, decided to work it out with me. And I had to be unattached. And even though it was difficult, I had to be unattached by someone not liking me and people even saying things about me that may not be even true, or may have some version of truth, but some distortion. I think back to a client of mine in 2020, and she got absolutely canceled. Like just everything, it was terrible. And I remember telling her during going through that time, I said, if you start believing what other people say of you, your business is going to go down. If you allow that to just simply be a belief that someone has, one of the many beliefs that somebody could have, you'll be fine. And she was fine. She was able to lock in, and she was able to be fine. And so it doesn't matter if someone's canceling you. Doesn't matter if something happens with finances. Doesn't matter if it happens with a business partnership. Or some influencer says, oh, I'm going to do this because of this. If you bend to that, it's very hard and difficult to look yourself in the mirror. At least I find. And what I learned earlier on in life and earlier on in my early 20s is that I cannot control the opinion that others have of me. I cannot control it. I can be in control of how I handle a situation. I can be in control of how I do things. And I can do that to the best. I can run a business to the best of my abilities. And sometimes I'm going to make the right decisions. Sometimes I'm going to make the wrong decisions. And I've got to be okay with the fact that if I'm in a room with 1,000 people, those 1,000 people are all going to see a different version of me. It's just got to be at peace. And you have to be at peace with that if you're going to build an online business. And so my advice to you is to separate your external opinion from your internal opinion, and to realize that the core reason why you're going to care is not because of your business, right? Because let's be honest, lots of people don't like some of the largest businesses in the world, and they're still quite successful. It's okay to have people that don't like you, don't resonate with you. But the real reason that's so difficult for someone is because, number one, you want to be liked. And number two, you don't want to be ousted. Because thousands of years ago, our survival came from not being ousted, not being the out of the group. But the truth of the matter is, people that lead companies and entrepreneurs were never going to be in the group. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you don't really care. The sooner you're going to say, post about it, sue me, whatever. Let it be as it is. And that level of tenacity makes it so that you have a greater level of confidence and care when you look yourself in the mirror to know that someone can't fuck with you. To know that you are the really only person. Your opinion of yourself is really the only one that matters. And that if you add that to good ethics and care and love for other people, and knowing that you're doing the absolute best you can. That's what I believe matters the most. So I'm not on the, hey, try to, of course you can fix, if you can try to fix it, you can, but once somebody crossed that line where they no longer are inside of the same reality as you, they're no longer in the same logical element, or just simply the fact you can't help them. You can't solve the issue, fix the issue, whatever it might be. You have to let go of controlling your quote unquote reputation, aka controlling the fear inside of you. Hopefully this was helpful.